Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HIMediaTV. I'm your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and hello and welcome to my review of Orlando, Florida. As someone who lived there for a time, as many of you know, I was homeless for a good chunk of time, or borderline homeless, and even at present, still kind of on the rocks. But I'm better than I was, and I have lived all over this great country in different cuts and things of that nature. And one of the places I lived was Orlando, Florida, with the illustrious Madam Sterling, my co-host of the Psychedelic Space Cadet podcast. Now, that being said, let's talk about Orlando, Florida, from my time living there. What you see behind me, is not Orlando. Orlando is basically 60% paved highway, 30% white trash and poverty-stricken outskirts where people have to drive 30 minutes to get to work, the 10% of this. Now, I have a lot of critiques about Florida in general. Orlando kind of gets some splash damage with that. Terrible infrastructure as far as cars concerned. Terrible, like the job market is about as bad to a degree as Los Angeles, except the difference issues is reversed. When in Los Angeles, the business owners and employers are all smoking crack. The employees here are, and because of that, the employers don't trust anybody, and it's very hard to get a job. Which is ultimately why I had to leave, because it was impossible to find work. Now, typical Orlando weirdo stuff, lots of homelessness. I found plenty of people having little hidey holes, tents, things of that nature, just off the beaten path, even among all this opulence. Very same kind of, the homeless folks have to hide a little bit more because, cops, I guess, like to shoot them for sport. But I will say, most of my gripes for Orlando, Florida, by and large, are, gripes I have with Florida and Florida culture broadly. But I will say I do have some good things to say about Orlando, Florida here. First of all, because everybody who's over the age of 65 comes down here a lot, especially in the wintertime to avoid the cold, or retires here, there is a surprising melting pot of lots of different franchises that otherwise I was like, that's a what are you doing here, Wawa? Okay, I guess you got a lot of snowbirds and stuff from back up in PA. Wait, hold on. Why is there a White Castle here? Wait, is that a Portillo's from Chicago? All right. Fair enough. So you get a lot of franchises and stuff. I had a Wawa cheesesteak. A Wawa cheesesteak is very much a subpar cheesesteak, but it'll get you in a pinch. And you know what? I ain't had a good cheesesteak in a long ass time. And you know what? I damn near cried when the lady I was sleeping with at the time bought me one. So I had a great no notes. Very happy man. So that's one thing. You get a taste of home in Orlando, because of how many people are in and around from other parts of the country. So, all of these brands followed that. The local brands are remarkably good too. The two I talked about and I have reviewed prior in this series is Mikado's, which is a Colombian cafe. And no, they don't sell Coke, although their food might as well be Coke-laced because of how good it is. That is staffed almost exclusively by young, very, very pretty Latina women, and they serve some of the best fucking food you've ever had. It's like a Starbucks, but the food's actually good. The coffee and beverages are actually good, and most importantly, they're cheap. It is the first meal I've gotten since the economy went to shit post-COVID that actually was financially reasonable, and I'm more than happy to pay. A second one, and that brings me to the second one for dessert, Jeremiah's. So Up here, we love Rita's, right? Rita's is a staple. It's a tradition that on the first day of spring, you get your free cup of Rita's water ice. It's a whole thing up here in the Northeast. That being said, down there they have something called Jeremiah's, which is water ice and gelato on crack. It is insanely good. They have multiple different flavors. My favorite happens to be the horchata, which is so fucking good. It's amazing. They have multiple locations, and I'm gonna be honest, if you're going to go to Orlando and eat anything, these are the two places that you have to go to. You have to go to them. Period. The end. You have to. They are really that good. But all in all, my time in Orlando was fine. I wasn't particularly fond of it, for a myriad of different reasons, but Orlando's a cool city. Not worth, honestly, I think going on a vacation to visit LA or Chicago is probably worth more of your time. Everything in Orlando feels kind of like corporate and like theme parky in a way that doesn't feel authentic and really that fun, unless you're basic and like that kind of shit, which in all, be my guest. But I will say one thing Orlando does really, really well is it's not gonna be up there with like, a Philly, a Chicago, a New York, or maybe even an LA as far as being a food city. But, I would put it in the top 10. It is a severely underrated city in regards to food and definitely worth your time in that regard. So, yeah. Orlando wasn't bad. Wouldn't live there if I had a choice, though. Just saying, because fuck Florida and fuck you, Ron DeSantis.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at HIMediaTV/Discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at HIMedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.